Ultra-realistic cinematic scene of Ethan Walker, a 58-year-old American rancher with short gray hair, light gray beard, blue eyes, tan cowboy hat, white western shirt, patterned cowboy tie, blue jeans, brown cowboy boots, standing beside a dusty pickup truck while holding inheritance papers outside a rustic lawyer's office. Rainy sky, dramatic lighting, wet pavement reflections, emotional expression, Montana countryside atmosphere, photorealistic, raw photography, HDR, 8K, cinematic composition, volumetric lighting, sharp focus. The winding mountain highway brought back memories of childhood summers, spent riding horses and fishing with Grandpa. Every mile felt familiar, yet something seemed different as I neared the ranch entrance. Fresh pavement replaced the old dirt road I remembered. When I reached the property gate, my heart sank. The original wooden ranch sign was gone. In its place stood polished stone monuments, displaying the name of an upscale homeowners association. Beyond the entrance stretched paved roads, decorative fences, and rows of expensive vacation homes. None of it had existed when Grandpa owned the ranch. Someone had transformed my family's land into a luxury neighborhood. Before I could drive farther, a white SUV blocked the road. Two uniformed HOA security officers stepped out confidently. One raised a hand and told me to turn around because the road was private. I calmly explained that the ranch belonged to my family and showed them the inheritance documents. The officers barely glanced at the papers before laughing. They insisted the HOA had controlled the land for years. Within minutes, a luxury SUV arrived. A sharply dressed woman stepped out carrying a folder of documents. She introduced herself as Linda Carter, president of the Homeowners Association. Linda claimed the HOA legally maintained every road inside the community. She spoke with absolute confidence, as though my ownership meant nothing. I listened quietly without raising my voice. I asked a simple question. Can you show me the deed proving this land belongs to your association? Linda hesitated for the first time. Her confidence faded as she searched through her folder. Instead of answering, Linda warned that refusing to leave would result in trespassing charges. The irony almost made me laugh. They were threatening to remove the legal owner from his own land. I thanked everyone for their time, turned around, and drove away without another word. They mistook my silence for surrender. In reality, I was heading straight to the county recorder's office. Inside the county records building, dusty maps and handwritten surveys told a very different story. Every original property line still listed my grandfather's ranch. The HOA subdivision stopped hundreds of feet short of where they had built. The clerk quietly admitted that several complaints had been filed over the years. No one had challenged the HOA because most neighboring landowners assumed the boundaries were correct. My inheritance changed everything. I hired a licensed land survey company the very next morning. Their lead surveyor smiled after reviewing the old deeds. He suspected the original boundary markers were still hidden beneath the forest. As bright orange survey flags appeared across the woods, curious homeowners gathered to watch. Many had no idea their neighborhood might extend onto privately owned ranch land. The first cracks in the HOA's confidence had begun to show. The survey team worked for 3 straight days, uncovering rusted steel markers buried beneath years of soil and pine needles. Every measurement matched my grandfather's original deed. The HOA entrance, security gate, and part of their main road all sat inside my property. The lead surveyor handed me the completed report with a satisfied smile. Nearly 40 acres had been occupied without permission. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was documented encroachment. I immediately contacted one of the best property rights attorneys in the state. After reading the report, she looked up and said, "This is one of the strongest land cases I've ever seen." Together, we mailed a formal notice demanding the HOA stop using my land within 30 days. The letter included survey maps, county records, and a request to discuss a peaceful resolution before legal action. Instead of cooperating, the HOA's attorney responded with a short letter denying every claim. They insisted the roads had belonged to the community for years and refused to move anything. Their refusal left me with only one option. My attorney filed a lawsuit seeking recognition of the property boundaries, compensation for unauthorized use, and an order requiring removal of every structure built on my land. News spread quickly across the mountain community. Homeowners who believed they had purchased peaceful vacation homes suddenly learned that part of their neighborhood might be sitting on privately owned ranch land. Several residents approached me respectfully and apologized. They admitted they had no idea the HOA had expanded beyond its legal boundaries. I assured them the dispute wasn't with honest homeowners. Unfortunately, Linda doubled down. At the next HOA meeting, she promised residents that the lawsuit would fail and that I was only trying to intimidate the community for money. My attorney smiled after hearing Linda's public statements. Every interview, email, and meeting was being documented. Her confidence was creating evidence we could later present in court. A court-approved survey confirmed every inch of the independent report. The judge now had 2 separate professional surveys showing the exact same property boundaries. During discovery, internal HOA emails revealed something shocking. Years earlier, several board members had privately questioned the boundaries but decided not to investigate because moving the entrance would cost too much. That single email changed everything. What had seemed like an honest mistake now looked like a deliberate decision to ignore property records. The case suddenly became much stronger. The courtroom filled with homeowners, reporters, and local residents on the morning of a hearing. Everyone wanted to know whether the powerful HOA had truly built part of its community on someone else's ranch. As opening arguments began, the judge reminded both sides that property rights depended on evidence, not assumptions. My attorney quietly placed the original deed, 2 survey reports, and decades of county records onto the evidence table.